Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Jess. In case this is your first time, welcome. And if you've been watching my other videos, welcome back. Today I'd like to talk about the differences between archery and Kyudo. To give a little bit of background about myself, I have been living in Japan for 20 years. And I've been practicing Kyudo, which is the Japanese martial art of the bow and arrow, so archery. And I have been doing field archery with a takedown recurve, just a barebow, for a couple of months. A lot of people are asking me, okay, so now you've tried both, like what do you think the differences are? So until now I kind of haven't really felt like I could sort of speak on it very much because I hadn't done recurve enough, but I think this time going to field archery I really got a good feeling of like really big differences and a lot of similarities actually. So today when I'm talking about archery, it's just going to be the type of archery that I've experienced here in Japan. So I have been to field archery and I used a barebow, and that is the type of archery that I'll be basing my comparison on. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of different types of archery. There's, you know, Asiatic archeries. Each country has their own type of archery. Mongolian bows, Korean bows, Indonesian bows. Today I'm going to be talking about just the recurve that I've tried compared with the yumi, which is we use in Kyudo. Just like to say that I started Kyudo before I started recurve, which is quite interesting. I get the question a lot, like, is it easier, do you think, for a person who's done archery before to start Kyudo? And in some cases it becomes a little bit more difficult for an archery related person as they have that muscle memory. Their body has that muscle memory of the draw for archery. In Japan, Kyudo is more the traditional way that Japanese people do archery. So therefore there are more dojos, the places where we practice Kyudo. Okay, so obviously big difference is the bow, the equipment, the arrows, and everything else related to equipment. So in Kyudo we use a yumi, and a yumi is an asymmetric bow. And the thing is that the shape hasn't changed for many hundreds of years. So the yumi has, it's asymmetric, so the upper limb is longer than the lower limb. So I get this question a lot, but the reason why is supposedly one of the theories is that the bow was originally used crouching or kneeling or on the ground, you know, for warfare, and also on horseback. So to give that the long bow, because it's about 0.2 meters long, to give it clearance when you're riding a horse, they've made the lower limb shorter. But then I've also actually heard another theory was that on release, when you have the grip on the lower part of the bow, it makes the vibration on release a lot less. So there are a couple of different theories. With Kyudo, we usually have a bow made from either fiberglass or carbon or bamboo. So we call it a takeyumi. So we have sort of those main three different types. Other options include having a carbon insert inside a bamboo bow. Arrows, usually also we have aluminium. We call it Dyalla, which are like durable aluminium, hardened aluminium shafts, or carbon, or bamboo to go with the bamboo bows. So we have those three types. Also we use a glove. So actually I've brought it with me. So this is the yugake. We call it a yugake for Kyudo. This is a Kyudo glove. And it's made from deer skin. It has 3 fingers or 4 fingers depending on your preference. And this thumb, I don't know if you can hear, it's hardened, so it has wood inside it, and we use let's put it this way. We use this part here. There's a bit of a step. We hook the string onto here and pull back. So there's a bit of a groove inside here. So we have a little bit of extra equipment compared to archery. So archery, when I went the other day, I had a tab, my finger tab for pulling, and I had a bow, which is really straightforward. The thing that is the same with archery and Kyudo equipment wise is that you have a chest protector for Kyudo as well. Women usually use a chest protector in Kyudo. So for archery, men and women have that chest protector, and also archery, people have the arm guard as well. So Kyudo, we don't have an arm guard. When you have like a traditional bow with Kyudo, you have a takeyumi. They perform differently or have a different feel depending on the humidity, the temperature outside, like how hot or cold it is, and the weather, this kind of thing. Like if it's raining, if it's sunny, it's not this massive thing. However, the person who's been shooting their bow, you know, every day will notice a change in the way that the bow behaves. Like this, for me, I don't shoot a takeyumi regularly. My bow is carbon. I could not imagine trying to then add in the extra factor of the weather and the humidity and the heat or the cold affecting my bow, and how I should change my shooting to be able to manage those different factors. So this for me kind of blows my mind. So when I see people shooting with bamboo bows, you know, big respect for them. Hopefully I'll get there in the end, but at the moment I'm kind of like, I have enough with carbon. So I'm not sure, you know, how traditional archers are. People that use wooden bows, like, do you guys notice when the weather is weird, different, hot or cold, the humidity, does your bow behave differently? Let me know. So the next thing I'd like to talk about is the technique. And the technique that I've learned is for barebow, recurve, for field archery. So that's what I'm comparing it to. And Kyudo, we have hasetsu, so we have a series of 8 movements in the archery school that I learned. We will complete, including release and then letting the bow come down to be able to knock the next arrow. That's the whole set, and we call it hasetsu. I got taught how to hold the bow correctly and how to use the tab correctly, and then the draw is, the sensei taught me an anchor point. So my chin, the back of my chin. Kyudo, we draw much wider. So I'll put a video comparison, but we'll be like back around here. So like anchor point for archery is quite an important thing. You'll find like your specific area that you go to each time to be able to, and this helps you to aim, right, for archery. With Kyudo, we have points like that, just points for aiming, which we call hozuke, on our cheek, and kuchiwari, so it's the arrow on our mouth, the edge of our mouth, and when we're in full draw, we'll be able to feel where the arrow is, and this gives us a sense of the height. And then also the string will be coming down through here, right on our chest, so this is called munazuru. So this is one of the aiming points for Kyudo as well, but we don't anchor. Archery, you can kind of, you'll anchor, and then the teacher taught me to just rotate back a little bit on release. Just bring that elbow back slightly, little by little until you release, which is actually like you're expanding. So you're doing expansion until release. You're not like stopping and then letting go. So I thought this was really, really similar actually to Kyudo. We have just expansion until release, so in the same way. And the arms, obviously because the drawer is so big, the arm like flies. The arm flies this way or this way or this way, depending on the person, what type of glove they use, how strong their bow is, and like there's a lot of different factors. One other really interesting thing that I noticed was the stance in archery is quite like, it's your shoulder width apart for me doing field archery, or you know, depending on if you're on the side of a mountain trying to shoot upwards, or I mean, you adjust your stance. In Kyudo, we have a thing called ashibumi, so this is our stance, and it becomes the foundation for the rest of our shooting. And if the foundation is not solid, our body will be like wobbling back and forth. Usually it is our yazuka, which is the length of our arrows, and the way we measure that is from the middle of our neck out to our fingertips, past our fingertips sometimes. And mine is about 93, 95, I think. And so yeah, if you can imagine, that's quite a wide, that's like just about a meter wide, the stance that I have to make. The first time I tried recurve, the thing that really like blew my mind, because I was used to doing Kyudo, is that we knock the arrow on the inside of the bow. With Kyudo, we knock on the outside of the bow. When we're shooting, the string rotates on the outside and comes around to the opposite side. But yeah, knocking on the outside of the bow as opposed to the inside of the bow was a really big difference for me. It felt kind of weird. With Kyudo, we aim with both our eyes. We look with both our eyes the whole time. We don't shut an eye, depending on, you know, your left dominant, your right dominant. When we're drawing, the target is at a certain area the whole way down. As we're drawing, you're drawing, opening up. The target, in my case, the target, both my eyes open, the target disappears. So I have my fist is like covering the target. So people are like, okay, so where's the target? Can you see it? It's like, no, I cannot see the target when I'm in full draw. So this depends on the person and which dominant eye they use. Just those were the differences, keeping both eyes open with Kyudo and then being able to shut an eye, depending on which is your dominant eye. He really got into back muscle usage and breathing, and really fine things like finger tension and tension on your fingers, this kind of thing. I really like felt, hey, wow, this is so similar to Kyudo. Correct use of back muscles, because if you're shooting with your fingers in Kyudo and in archery as well, things are going to go a little bit haywire. So if you have like too much hand tension, or you're gripping stuff really tightly and it doesn't work out. Barebow, you know, you don't have a sight to be able to check out the target. You need to use your eyes, and you use your body. You know, you get a feeling. You can string walk to be able to help you aim. Instinctive archery, right? You're using your body, your eyes, and you're breathing. You're using all your back muscles and your arms correctly. This is really similar to the way that I feel when I do Kyudo as well. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And then lastly, the really big thing. So there's a lot of videos about the differences between archery and Kyudo. And yes, Kyudo is a martial art, and Kyudo is about, how can we say, it's training yourself to be, it's you against you, basically. And hitting the target is not important, is what I hear a lot of the time. However, in Kyudo, if you have correct technique, then you're going to hit the target properly. You're going to hit the target as a given. So it's not searching for the target, perhaps like in archery, it's searching for the correct technique so that you'll be able to hit. Saying that they are very different because one is a sport and one is a martial art, it's actually a little bit more difficult than that. In Kyudo, especially middle school, high school, university, they have club activity. A large population of the Kyudo population in Japan is our students. So these guys and women, they participate in competitions. So they need to hit. And so they train like hundreds of arrows a day in order to be able to win these competitions. They have inter-school competitions, inter-university competitions. It's like, it's a big deal. It's a really big deal. And you'll get kids and young adults with hit rates of like 90%. They're like a Kyudo machine, right? Like there's a martial art component. They have the bowing, the ceremonial shooting they'll learn depending on the university or the high school. However, for them, they have to hit to be able to win the competition. So with Kyudo, it's a hit or a miss, usually. So in adults, we have adult competition as well. It's a hit or a miss. However, with university and high school Kyudo competitions, you'll get, I mean, they hit as a given, right? Because if you have an 80, 85, 90% hit rate, you're just going to be hitting. So it's whoever can hit the closest to the middle. So then, you know, they have 1 centimeter increments. There's not particularly points, but it's like how many centimeters away from the middle did you hit? So this kind of thing I think is interesting to talk about, because we have this whole thing, and especially in the media, about Kyudo being this meditative martial art, which for some people it is. For some people it is their hobby. It's all about just chilling out and calm and relaxing. However, for other people it's a sport, and there is a martial arts component to it. However, they need to hit for competitions. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. So archery, everybody says archery is just a sport. However, the archers that I talk to, especially instinctive archers, barebow, they're out there doing field archery, walking, like chilling out. It's super calm. They're using their body, their mind. I'm like, hey, this sounds really similar to Kyudo. Okay, so you're not doing bowing and like ceremonial things per se. However, in terms of your well-being, your spiritual and mental well-being, I really feel like there's a crossover between archery and Kyudo. So when people say, you know, they're opposite things, they're separate things, actually, like depending on what you're talking about, they have a lot of crossover. So that's just one other point that I really wanted to bring up. Thank you so much for watching today. Sorry, it was all in English today, no Japanese. 日本語は全く喋んなかった。ごめんなさい。I can expand. I have more and more and more. There are so many differences and similarities with archery and Kyudo that I want to talk about, but we're running out of time. If you'd like to see a second video, or if you'd like to request a video, please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and like, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.